today is finally the day. I'm flying back home today. I'm flying back to Tahiti, finally. I haven't been home for 3 years, so I'm definitely excited, but also I'm a bit sad to leave Montreal when it's finally warm. Like, people are in the street all over because it feels like spring is here. You realize when winter is over when there's like insects on your window. I'm a bit stressed to see my entire family and what they're gonna say, like, oh, you gained weight, blah blah blah. I'm still packing my luggage. I have my carry-on over there. I packed my computers and prepared some hard drives so I can edit in the plane or at the airport if I get bored. So I'll bring you along on the trip and yeah, show you around Tahiti because I feel like it's super exciting. I'm super excited. I don't know. It's gonna be exciting and sunny, I hope, because here it's a bit cloudy today. I just called a taxi and he's coming to pick me up downstairs. This is my huge ass luggage and I have my backpack and the taxi is coming in 5 minutes. Let's go! Whew. And the journey begins. My bag is so enormous. I look ridiculous. I'm so tired already. Only 20 hours, I guess. Okay, bye. Just got to the airport, so I'm trying to find Air Canada for international flight. Air Canada. Okay, so I just passed customs. Duty free. Yes. It always looks so pretty. I'm at gate 85, so I'm just trying to find my gate now. My bag is so heavy. Time to get to the plane. Yay. It's super rainy in Montreal. So after a 6 hours flight, I finally landed to LA, so I have to go claim my luggage and register again to Air France. Not fun. I'm tired already, oh my god. And I didn't even do half of the whole travel and I'm so tired. Also, I have no idea where baggage claim is or where Air France is, so I'm gonna have to rush because I only have 3 hours. I'm completely lost. I'm going to the wrong terminal luggage claim, so I have to go back in front. What am I doing? Oh my god. This airport is so huge. I don't have a lot of time to catch my flight. I have no idea where I am or where I have to go, so oh my god. Ooh, okay, I'm there. LA airport is madness. Okay, so I'm finally at gate 130. It was a crazy ride, so I'm just waiting for my flight now. I'm eating my chicken. I'm so relieved that I'm arriving in time. There's no one. So I just turned on my screen and only 1 hour left. That's amazing. That means I slept all the way. So after 20 hours journey, I finally arrived. I'm tired. It's so warm. I hate it. Oh my god. But yeah, the line for the custom was not that long because, as I say, most of the people in the plane were tourists. And I'm from here, so we had a special line. And my parents were already outside, I can see them. So I'm just waiting for my luggage now, and then I can go out and go home. I'm so tired. Oh my god. Oh my god. My family is there. Yay! Woo! It would be stupid to get crushed.
Just in time, huh?
Yes! Back!
Yes, she's back.
Do we look alike?
So happy! Yeah.
Woohoo! Oh my god, I'm so tired and I'm so hot. It's the highway with no lights at all. Welcome to Tahiti. Super fun, super dangerous. It's crazy. I love the smell of gas. For some reason. I'm one of those weird people who loves the smell of gas. See how everybody wakes up in the morning? Someone just go around with their super loud motorcycle. Thank you, man. Thank you. So this is our aunt's house, and this is our house. Oh, the wall is not that pretty. Yay, home! Oh, woo! So many cars. Good stuff. This is the beautiful garden at our entrance, and so many plants. Hello, fishy. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh, my coffee is ready. Thank you. Oh, wow. Home sweet home. Finally home. Hello, family.
Hello.
Woohoo. Okay, I'm gonna pop in the shower now. This is my room. And my desk. And this can go all the way. And there's like my books, and the shower, and my bathroom. Shower done. It feels so good to be clean. So I have all morning because everybody left to go to work. Cheers! Woo! To being home. Home in Tahiti after 20 hours of flying around, running around at the airport and everything. I'm finally home and it feels so good. I just took a shower. Whew, feels amazing. It's a beautiful day. I'm sure I included some beautiful footage of my house and everything. So yeah, I wanted to take some time to talk about my journey to come here because it was kind of crazy. So from Montreal, I made my luggages, I prepared everything. And my dad was like, oh, weight your luggage because it's only 23 kilos. And I was like, I have nothing in my luggage. I have nothing to bring home. Like, it's of course not going to take all the weight. As stubborn as I am, I decided not to weight my luggage and decided just to go because I was sure that it was under 23 kilos. Of course, I'm wrong because I arrived at the airport, I weighed my luggage, 28 kilos. I had 5 extra kilos that I needed to take off my luggage. So I was like, opening my luggage and taking off things in front of everybody, so my underwears and all my clothes were exposed to the world, and everybody was looking at me trying to take off things. So I was taking out the coffees that I bought for my sister, and thank God I had a plastic bag in my backpack. So I shoved all the coffee bags in there. I also took off my running shoes and everything. So the woman gave me an extra 0.5 kilo, thank God. So but I had to basically run around at the airport for 20 hours holding this heavy ass plastic bag full of coffee, grounded coffee. So it was a nightmare because like my hands are hurting so much now. It's crazy. It was so crazy. So okay, she let me go. I closed my luggage. I checked in. Also, on the phone when I registered for Air Canada, they told me that I should go see the woman because she will be able to register my luggage from Montreal to Tahiti, so I wouldn't have to check out my luggage in LA and register again at Air France, because I'm taking Air Canada for Montreal to LA, then LA to Tahiti. I'm taking Air France. So they told me that the two traveling agency were able to do that, like register my luggage all the way to Tahiti. So I went to see the woman. I made the line instead of going to the electronic registering machine, because I wanted to talk to the woman to explain my situation. And she tells me that no, they're not able to do that. So basically when I arrive at LA, I have 3 hours. I have to go get my luggage, find Air France, register again, and pass the custom again. So I was stressed. If my flight was delayed, then I'll miss my flight for sure. So I was like, okay, I have no choice anyway, so I'll do that. So the flight was okay. I didn't sleep at all. It was 6 hours, I think, Montreal to LA. I watched a lot of amazing movies. I watched Ferdinand, which was amazing. I watched Black Panther, which was a bit disappointing. I was expecting way more. And what was the third movie I watched? I watched something else. Oh, I don't remember. But yeah, so the flight was good. I had no one next to me. I was next to the exit door, so there was a lot of space between the front seat and me. So I had a lot of room for my bag and my feet. But then I was also next to the exit door. So they put me in charge of opening the door if there's an emergency. Me? Oh my god, that was the worst choice ever. And the woman came to us to explain how to use those exit door, and she was like, oh yeah, so you just have to pull and just let it go very fast because the door is gonna fly away. I'm like, so clumsy. I'll pull it, and then the woman be like, let it go, and I just look at her and be like, what? And pff, I'm out the airplane with the door. That's the kind of person I am. I'll be flying with the door. So that, I was a bit stressed. I was like, please, 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 I don't want to have to use that exit door. Thank God everything went fine. Then I arrived at LA. LA airport is the worst. It's so big, it's so confusing. So I look at baggage claim. So I try to follow the arrow that says baggage claim. Apparently, I went to the wrong baggage claim at the wrong terminal, because each terminal, there's like 10 of them, has their own baggage claim. So I arrived at the wrong terminal baggage claim, and I was so lost. I was like, where is Air Canada? Oh my god, I need my luggage. So I asked a woman, and she told me, no, it's terminal 6. I was at terminal 5, so I had to walk. So I found my luggage. It arrived really fast, so that was good. But then I had to find Air France. I had no idea where Air France was. I was so lost. I was so panicked. I was so warm. I was so stressed. I had that huge ass bag of coffee in my hands. It was the worst. It was a nightmare. So I asked the woman at the baggage claim, hey, where is Air France? And she basically tells me that I need to take a bus that'll bring me to another terminal. And I had all those things. I was like, I need to take a bus. Which bus? She was like, oh, the blue one. I'm like, oh my god, be more clear, please. And which terminal? And she was like, Tom Brody or something. I was like, oh, I won't remember. So I basically go try to find the blue bus. And I finally find the blue bus. And I asked the man, oh, please, Air France, Air France. And he was like, oh, international. Okay, so terminal B. I was like, okay. So I jumped on the bus trying to get all my things, my huge luggage, my 23 kilo luggage, my 5 kilo bag of coffee, and my huge backpack that was like 10 kilos. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then yeah, so I went on the bus. There was no one, so it was a bit creepy. Then the guy then we arrived at Terminal B after he did the whole round of the airport. So he was like, oh, this is your stop, ma'am. I was like, okay, thank you. So I, all again, take all of my stuff out of the bus and go to the terminal. And then I arrive and I can't find Air France. I was like, where is Air France? Oh my god, this is the arrival, like where people arrive. So I was like, there's no desk. So I ask again someone, and I ask, where is Air France? I need to find Air France, please. And then he tells me that it's upstairs. So I go upstairs and I see Air France. Oh, that feeling. I was like, oh, thank God. I think it was 8:30 or something, and my flight was at was boarding at 11:10, so I still had some time. I was like, okay, I found Air France. And then I arrived and I told the woman, oh, I've never been so happy to find Air France. And she was not really nice, to be honest. So she told me she needed to weigh my luggage again, and it was overweight of 0.5 because the woman at Air Canada allowed me to have that 0.5 kilos extra. And I told her, oh, I just came from Montreal, they let me have my luggage like that. And she was like, oh, okay, so can I weigh your carry-on? I was like, my bag and my plastic bag, and I had like a plastic bag, and then my running shoes was on another plastic bag, so I tied the two plastic bags together to make like one thing. She was like, oh, this counts as 2 and you're only allowed 2, so with your backpack it's 3 things, so you need to make them 2 in front of me. I was like, oh my god, I had no space on my back in my backpack. The 2 plastic bags were full, so I tried, and then she weighted them, and it was like 14 kilos, and apparently I was only allowed 12. So I was like, oh my god, why is this happening? She's like, oh, you need to take off 2 kilos. I was like, oh my god, why? So I was like taking off coffees and my chicken because I cooked some chicken for the plane. She was like, oh, what are you gonna do with those after? I was like, throw them away, duh, I have no other choice. She was like, oh, so I asked her, do you want some coffee? Like, do you want the coffee? And she was like, no, really, I don't want to. I was like, okay, then I will throw them away. And she's like, okay, sure. And can you make them 2 in front of me? So when you leave, I know that you only have 2 carry-ons. I was like, oh my god. So I took my bag, I shoved like my camera like at the bottom as much as I could. I put like, try to put everything to make it like one bag. And she was like, okay, perfect. And then I was just waiting for her to give me my pass, and she registered my luggage. And she was like, oh really, what are you gonna do with those things like that I put aside to make to take off some weight? And I was like, throw them away or give them to you. She was like, okay, maybe it's okay if you keep them. I was like, seriously, you make me go through all this just to let me know at the end that I was good from the beginning. Like, it was super nice of her to let me have those 2 kilos, but she could have let me have those 2 kilos from the beginning, you know. I drove Air Canada with those 2 kilos, so I was like, oh my god. So I had to like find a way to push them in the bag also. So I was like, oh, the nightmare. And she was like, okay, you can go now. So I go. LA airport is so confusing. It's craziness, madness. There's so many people, so many ways. Everything is going on. I was like, there's dogs sniffing bags. There's everything. I was like, the line went super fast though. It was super long, but it was going super smooth. So I passed the custom. Of course, I had like 2 trays because when you pass the custom, you need to put your things on the trays and pass in the machine. So I put like my plastic bag with the coffee beans on one tray and then my backpack on another tray. And then they push them in the machine. So I pass, nothing happens. And then my tray goes on the side for people to like test them. My first tray with the plastic bag, I was like, okay. So they're like, oh, who's that? I was like, oh, it's mine. They're like, oh, come on the side, we're gonna check them. So they take off everything from the bag. Oh my god. And then they test all the coffee. They're like in the machine and everything. And then they give me the tray with everything out of the plastic bag. I'm like, oh, why is that a challenge? I was like, oh my god, I was so tired. I didn't sleep at all. I was so tired. So I was like trying to shove everything back in the plastic bag, and then I was waiting for my backpack. And of course my backpack go on this side also, and they're like, oh, whose backpack is that? Me again. So she opens my backpack and take everything out. I was like, oh my god, I can't make everything fit back in there. It was like, so she's taking everything out and testing the coffee beans again because I had like 1 coffee bag inside because I was trying to make them fit. So, and then she tested it. She was like, oh, okay, all good. And she gives me the tray with everything out of my backpack. And there's like a huge line, so I'm taking all the space to put everything back in there. And I'm like, oh, my passport, where's my passport? Where's the plastic bag? Everything good? My phone, my everything. I was so lost. I was like, oh my god, okay. So I take everything and I go and I enter, and then there's like all those shops. It's so fancy, so huge and everything. And then I have to walk and find my terminal with all those things. I'm like, okay, where is terminal 130? I try to find it, blah blah blah, and I do. And then I feel so good because I got my flight on time, like 2 hours before my flight was leaving. There's no one. Oh, I was like, ooh. So I took a little nap, maybe like 15 minutes. And then I woke up and there's many people there. And then I'm like, am I at the right gates? Because there is no Tahitian. No one that looked that they were from Tahiti or like Chinese from Tahiti. There's only like French people or Spanish people. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm on the wrong gate. Is that Papeete? So I go out and I ask someone, is that Papeete? Because I can't recognize anyone, because every time I go home there's at least like one person that I know. Tahiti is so small and there's not that many flights from LA to Tahiti, so I was like, there must be one person I know. That's impossible that there's only French people, Spanish people, like I don't know what is happening, Europeans. So I'm like, okay, but the woman told me it was good, so I was like, okay. So I go back to my seat, I wait 2 hours, and then people started boarding. So I went on the line because there was many different lines, but I didn't look at the zone of the line I was in. So it was zone 4 and I was zone 3. So I was just waited, and they're like, oh, people from zone 1 can board, people from zone 2, and then they said people from zone 3, and no one from my line was moving. I was like, oh, okay. So I got out of the line and started walking to board. And the stupid guy that was in front of me, they were a couple. They were speaking in Spanish, so I don't know where they're from, maybe Spain. But it was such a douche. So I got out of the line to go boarding. He whistles at me and tells me to get back behind him. And I'm like, I'm zone 3. And he just says, yeah, but we all go in the same plane anyway. I was like, asshole! She said zone 3, I'm zone 3, what's your problem? Like, we go on the same airplane anyway, so what's the matter if I go now or if I wait behind you? You know, those people, I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed at them. I was like, oh my god, there are people like that, like. And at this point I just try to stay positive, super nice. I smile, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, blah blah, sorry, I thought it was zone 3, blah blah. But inside I was so pissed. I hate people like that need to open their mouth. Like, what? Why is it gonna change his life that I go when it's my time to go, or if I wait behind him? Like, I was so annoyed that people like that are around. Like, okay, so I got on the plane, there's that woman, and there's still no one next to me because the flight was not full at all, so it was amazing. I didn't have anyone there. Tourists. So when I arrived, the resident from Tahiti had their own line, so there was like no one. We were like maybe 10. So we arrived and there's a huge ass line of tourists. It was so crazy. So it was super fast to go. I just showed my passport and they were like, okay, go. But of course I was one of the first there, but my luggage was the last to arrive, so I had to wait. And I could see my family behind the doors, and they're like waving. I was just like, hey, just waiting for my luggage still, because of course I have to wait. But thank God, because apparently my sister was late to welcome me, and if my luggage was one of the first, she would have been there for welcoming me. So I arrived, I got my luggage, one of the last one, and I go out and I'm filming them and they're both filming me. So we have like 3 cameras filming each other. It was so weird. People must have thought we're crazy, but it was so fun. Oh, I missed them. I missed my house. It's so warm. The heat here, like, I was like, oh my god, I hate it. I'm in shorts, I'm in t-shirt, which I did not wear for a long time in Montreal. I hope it's still warm in Montreal though, because when I looked at the weather, it was like 23 when I left, so not that bad. But here it's beautiful. I'm gonna show you. Can you see? I just basically wanted to let you know how my flight went, how crazy it was. It took me like 20 hours to arrive here, but I made it. I arrived safe and sound, and it feels amazing. first breakfast
Je sais pas si
together.
ton tableau est assez grand pour mon vidéoprojecteur.
Okay, no one cares.
Je sais pas.